Okay.
It's just for meat. Just for meat.
Right, just for meat?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's getting... So, I came to a place called Hotpot Master, which is all about this hot pot. I think it's all about a soup, which is the basis of it all, which boils up. It's got a certain flavour to it. I picked a spicy one, and then you start sticking in these other ingredients. It's like a fondue, but it's based on soup, which boils under this rather, well, I'd say that's a much bigger flame than anything I've seen before. And obviously you use the chopsticks to take these elements in and out, and then you put the sauce on them afterwards and eat them. You're cooking them, and then you put these elements into this 3-part plate, and then you put this sauce on. She made the sauce up with me, based on the basis seems to be a very nutty kind of satay sauce, and then in went ginger, garlic, in went Chinese onions, in went coriander leaf by the looks of it. In went some beef trimmings and mushroom trimmings, and I've got to apparently mix that all up together. This is what she gave last, and that's just for the meat. So this is going to be, and I got myself a smoothie, which isn't at all like a Western one. It's really light, like it's not got any actual milk in it, more like sort of soya milk or something. And that very light indeed, and some fruit in it, so it's got a fruity, watery kind of fruity taste with something that's reminiscent of a very, very, very skimmed milk. And I've got soda water that I haven't opened yet. I just thought I'd try and see what a Chinese smoothie's like, but hopefully that's really quite different. I'm not saying it's unpleasant, but it's very different from, so if you expect to get one of the things you get in an American restaurant under the name smoothie, it'll be rather well, I'd say it'll be a shock, but it'll be different. This is just under something called Fraser's Sweets up there. Sweets as in sweets of rooms, not sort of sweets that you might put in your mouth and suck on, for example. Oh, okay, you want me to pay now?
Yes, sauce, pot, noodles, and your juice.
Okay.
And the water, and the lamb, mushroom.
我应该付钱现在我应该
No.
Okay.
Finish.
Okay, all right. This is just so that I
English very far.
just so that I know what's coming up. Yeah. So that there are no surprises. Okay. It doesn't add up to anything though. That's the funny thing.
Chinese, you
mushroom. Yes.
And lamb.
Excellent.
And
water. Okay.
And the cherry cream juice, and the handmade noodles.
Okay.
And the pot.
Yeah.
And the self-service sauce.
Righto.
Self-service sauce.
Yes.
Sauce.
Righto.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Righto. So what does all of that add up to? About 100, doesn't it? About £10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. It's for an adventure that I've never had before, so there you go. You can't say fairer than that. Well, if you've got a speech impediment, which doesn't let you say F, T, H and T. So, there we go. It's an adventure. The soup is now probably on the way to boiling. Oh yes, it's boiling a bit, so I can start the game. I can start the game. Okay, but I can't do it and film at the same time. That's the problem. Maybe if I put this over there, I might be able to. You can see whether I mess it all up or not. Unfortunately, this doesn't really let me stand it up very easily because it's got this rather difficult bottom, like some friends of mine. And I don't know whether I can make it do this and film me properly. Probably not. Anyway. No, it's just sliding down. Ooh, it's just sliding away. Slip sliding away. Okay, that seems to be standing, but it's all wonky, it's all on one side. So So let me take that off. It's now boiling. Ooh, hot. So apparently the noodles take 5 minutes. In they go. They've gone in. So I can show this. Maybe I'll put 2 lots of noodles in at once. They take 5 minutes. So in order to know what 5 minutes are, that should mean that I could take them out just after midnight. Now, in the meantime, the lamb takes about 1 minute apparently. So here's some lamb. And the shiitake mushroom takes apparently, it's all going to disintegrate, about 3 minutes. So the problem is that unlike a fondue where you know where your food is because you've got it on the end of a prong, in this setup you leave the stuff in there and you start taking it out again once things have gone the way that they need to go. Thankfully the chopsticks are long enough so that I don't get burned. I see the flames licking around the edges occasionally. That just gives me time to take a sip of my finish that. I don't need to worry about slurping because I've heard all sorts of things in restaurants. Burping, throat clearing, not quite nose blowing but certainly throat clearing. Yeah, burping. The other last time I was in a restaurant I had burping. That was about 7 o'clock and now it's midnight, so it's time to eat again, that's for sure. Right, so it's now boiling up again. Let's see what's happened with that lamb. Yes, it's all brown. And noodles come with it though. And that noodle will have to go back in again. In the meantime I'll pull it out so that it doesn't overdo it. She said that it only needed a short time. Don't know what can happen if it stays in too long. I don't suppose anything bad can happen to it. I mean, I boil things up at home for ages and ages, and they still, in the worst case, it just goes into the soup, doesn't it? I don't think I need to panic about things being pulled out. And at the end of it all, I suppose I can have the soup. Eat the soup at the end instead of at the beginning. So let's see if it's all right or not. Presumably it can't be hotter than 100 degrees anyway, unlike frying. Alright. Seems alright. Oh, I forgot about the sauce. I should have put it in the sauce. In fact, what I was supposed to do is mix the sauce all up. Oh yeah, and I was supposed to use the other sauce for the meat, wasn't I? So this is a sauce which she helped me make myself out of all of those ingredients. So that's all mixed together now on the basis of this nutty thing. It's like a kind of satay plus arrangement. This is the lamb in this soy kind of sauce now. Yeah. I can see that, but I put some more stuff in. So those are in there. It doesn't matter if I think these things. I just don't think it matters if these things stay in too long, you know. I put another shiitake in without taking the old one out. very difficult to take the shiitake mushroom out with the chopsticks. It wasn't a problem putting it in, but taking it out's quite another issue. Anyway, if it stays in too long, it doesn't matter. Like I say, it'll just become part of the soup by my calculations. So let's see if I like this. That'll cool it down a bit, of course, so I don't need to worry about scalding myself. Well, it's alright. I wouldn't have that every day, but it's alright. I better put the noodles in. Actually, I can't put the noodles in because I suppose that this element isn't really edible, it's just a chili. When it's a chili beef, I suppose it means there's a beef stock in there rather than any particular bits of beef. I'm not sure that's a minute yet, but never mind. I've got one here to deal with. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't think I'm going to film the whole meal, so you basically get the idea of what I'm doing here, yeah? Well, I've now been provided with a bit more hot potting kit, namely one of these spoons and one of these spoons here. So there we go. That should help. I come back in the evening and they've really excelled themselves once again. I've now got 3 bottles of water, which is great. 4 in fact, there's that one over there still. So this one's there, that one's there. I'm surrounded by complimentary water, which is really nice, really good. I was getting the idea that they kept you pretty well watered, that's why I didn't buy any more water today. I bought some provisions just in case, and I think there's still a bottle of tea in there. I've actually discovered that I like that product quite a lot. We'll see about seeing if we can get it over into that's lemon tea. It's a little bit sweet. Oh, my hair's all up at the back. That's probably not really good, but never mind. They always put new combs and what have you here, so keep taking them away, they keep putting them back. Not out of there though, because I've checked they're not fishing them back out of here and putting them there, they're putting new ones up, which is fantastic. In Western hotels they get fed up of that quite quickly and don't give you any more. Here, I ate 1 apple, and now that they've seen that I like the fruit, they've given me more fruit. Because I ate the apple, I thought it was a lemon, but now that I look at it properly, it's a Chinese pear, isn't it? And there's an orange. Oranges come from China as well. That's a, I don't know what, maybe it's another kind of apple, maybe it's another kind of thing I don't know. There's a normal apple, more familiar looking apple anyway. That's an orange, that's probably a Chinese pear. And 2 bananas, they've added that onto the agenda for this evening, so that's fantastic. I'm not going to be hungry in the night. Isn't that great? And they've, yeah, like I say, they've added water, another water there. Oh, they give you postcards, which I have to fill in and send. The inside of the hotel, showing its sumptuousness. The two are the same. Actually, the inside of the hotel isn't, to be honest with you, what's the most interesting thing about this trip, and I haven't spent more time here than I've had to, because the city's of course more interesting, but still, since you have to spend some time here, it's great that there's such a standard. It's one of the best. Well, Hawaii was very good, but I'm not sure that the level of service here isn't even better than that.